Hey and howdy and hi and welcome back to another Pride Month Speed Paint. Thanks for dropping by. We're on to, what is it, week 3, I think it is at the point of this recording. Running a little bit behind, not gonna lie, trying to get it uploaded by the end of the day. We'll see how that goes. But so far, I did in fact finish the Speed Paint. Thank goodness. It actually turned out pretty good, I think. I'm actually kind of proud of it. At first, it was looking a little rough because, as I mentioned before, I've been trying a lot of new things with these drawings specifically, and there's some stuff that I'm going to actually address later in the video for the things that I tried out this time. Either way, I tried some new stuff that is not my comfort zone, so kind of proud of how it turned out. It didn't turn out as bad as I thought, but yeah, for this point in the Pride Speed Paint series, usually by now, the kind of flag that I would draw for it would be bisexual. So that's what this week is. I've got 2 bisexual characters from my D&D campaign. One of them is a player character and the other one's an NPC. And I'll kind of talk more about them later. But for now, thank you for listening to my ramblings. You're about to hear a lot more later because I'm going to talk more in the video. So I'm just going to keep this intro brief. Thank you guys for dropping by. I hope you guys enjoy the speed paint, and I will see you guys in a minute. Thank you, and see you next week. Hello everybody, and welcome to another speed paint ramble. That's basically what I'm going to call this at this point, because every single time I've recorded something, I've just started rambling. We'll see where this goes. Somewhere, probably. Either way, hello and welcome back to another Pride Speed Paint. For this week, I guess you could say, I don't know about theme, but like the sexualities represented here, in this case of this week, would be bisexual. Now for those of you who don't know what bisexual is, it's basically someone who's attracted to both men and women. That's the most basic Google textbook definition I can give you. Again, these things, you've heard it, potato, under umbrellas and stuff like that. I don't have a script, I am so sorry. One of these days I'll write a script. One of these days I will make sense in what I'm saying. But that day is not today. And today I'm tired because your girl was late again. Very late actually recording this right now. It's about 4 p.m. on a Wednesday. I said I would upload these on Wednesdays. I didn't say what time. So this is probably going to be uploaded around like late. Either way, it's going to be uploaded today, so I did not break my promise, and no one can tell you otherwise, because I did not specify a time. Other than that, I'm kind of proud of how this drawing turned out. I mentioned it before in the intro, but a lot of comfort zones were broken because of several things. First off, if you've noticed from the current recording going on in the background, there's 2 characters this time instead of 1. And not only that, but they're both facing side profile. So that's 2 things. I don't usually draw characters together. Usually I draw separate characters because I like focusing more on the character design. But I need to start practicing putting 2 characters, well, 2 or more characters in a space together because heights are important and I still haven't figured that out. And it's usually because I get so excited about one character design that it's just like, you know, I kind of forget, oh, I can draw these 2 characters being cute together. But then I'm like, no, I'll just keep that in my head because drawing's hard sometimes. And honestly, a lot of opportunities were missed and I'm trying to remedy for that. But yeah, I drew 2 characters together and honestly, I don't hate how it turned out. I got kind of scared of the sketch at first because what took so long was just drawing the sketch itself. I wasn't happy with the sketch because, again, I don't draw side profiles as well, which made it worse because I thought it looked, like, bad. Because I don't draw side profiles. It was kind of scary because I usually draw either full-on front-facing or just slightly looking to the side. I don't draw side profiles. I am not good at them. But, yeah, I learned a lot today about how to suffer within 5 hours. I think this took 5 hours in the course of 2 separate days, not including the actual traditional sketch process, which I usually don't include, but I think at some point in the future I might record actually the traditional drawing process. We'll see. I would have to figure out a setup for that because my desk is not big enough for that. But one of these days. Either way, I've severely got off the... Where was I? Right. So drawing two characters together and side profile. Those were the two main things I practiced this week. And again, I think it turned out pretty decent in the end. I fixed a lot of the discrepancies that I didn't really like in the traditional sketch in digital, which I'm trying to also learn how to use digital sketching more, kind of just freehanding it in the program, because I am usually just a traditional sketcher and then just a digital everything else. So I'm trying to get more used to my tablet and freehanding things. And, you know, again, learned a lot. Still learning. I gotta really practice a lot. But either way, yeah. Now, on to who these characters actually are, because I've been rambling and I haven't explained who these are. I did mention at some point in the previous video that I run a D&D campaign. And that campaign is the Fragments of Fortune. Now, these two characters are Judocus and Margo, and they're both from that campaign. Judocus is actually my buddy's character. He is a bard, and he's absolute chaos, and he's probably committed more than one felony in the campaign. One of them including stealing the king's crown, but I digress. And Margo, she is just kind of along for the ride. There's a lot that's happened in the campaign that I just can't summarize in one video because it's a lot. There's been a lot of funny things that happen. Eventually I will talk about it. Eventually I'm gonna get my pals together and we'll talk about it, and I'll probably ask them what their favorite stuff from the campaign was, because there's been a lot. But so far the campaign's on hiatus, so nothing's happened so far recently, luckily enough, so I wouldn't have to summarize that. But for now, these two. They're both representing bisexual today. As I mentioned before, bisexual is the attraction to both men and women. For Judocus, it's very blatant. Judocus, I want to say this in the nicest way possible, but my friend made the most typical stereotype of a bard alive. And I mean that in the most affectionate way possible. I don't even know how to describe Judocus off the top of my head. I don't want to say he's a himbo, because he's not in that realm of territory yet. He's on the cusp of a himbo, but he's not quite there. He's not jacked as I imagine himbos to be, okay? Even though I may have drawn him a little beefier, I'm still practicing men. I don't usually draw men, so that's another thing that I had to go out of my comfort zone for. But either way, I just don't know how to describe Judocus. He's not a himbo, but he's something. He's literally the most atypical bard that you would imagine. You know, someone, a bard, you know, just like, I'm gonna try to get with every single race that I can think of and probably try to flirt with the dragon bard. Yeah, he's one of those. And it's very funny because he has very bad luck. But yeah, that's Judocus. I just don't know how to describe them. At one point I will try to. At one point I will try to like go full ham onto this man and try to dissect him by each point. But I just can't right now because I can't. I'm still trying to get a grasp on Judocus to this day, and I just can't. But one day I will. One day I'll have a word for him. But for now, there's also Margo, who's also in this drawing. Now, Margo, she joined the party kind of, I want to say early on, when they went to the second city, Candelia. And it's basically this city full of scholars. You know, they have a lot of education focus, magic focus. They met Margo, who is a student of one of the sanctuaries there. And Margo's kind of your typical sort of, you know, neighborhood girl who doesn't really talk to other people much because she's studying, but also because she's kind of ostracized. I don't know how to explain. I forgot the word for that. Just not a bookworm, but she didn't really get along with her peers. And she met Judocus one day when he was performing with Virgil, another player nearby. He is the druid Aarakocra, by the way. I hope I pronounced that right. But Virgil and Judocus decided to make some coin by performing in the park, and Margo just happened to be there and listen to them, and eventually it came to the point where she approached Judocus and was like, hey, are you guys adventurers? That's pretty neat. They started talking, they started going on little coffee dates, it was really cute, and then eventually he was like, hey, you want to go travel with us out in the world and see things? And she's like, what? That's an option? And it just evolved from there, and she's been traveling with them ever since. A lot of things were developed, and eventually one day I will go full detail into this, because honestly, a lot of the things are just really funny. Judocus is such a bad influence on Margo sometimes, and it's just so apparent in some of the things that have happened. I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, at one point when he was trying to teach her magic, she accidentally brought a plant to life and it immediately clung to her, and they all had to try to get that thing away from her, and it was like, no. But yeah, he gets her into so much trouble, and then he gets in trouble for it. But yeah, so far I kind of missed the campaign. Hopefully I'll be able to bring it back soon. But right now, just thinking back at all the crazy stuff that has happened, honestly, Judocus is just the chaos, the wild magic of the group, if you will. And honestly, one of these days I just want to talk about just him, right? Because Judocus himself is just a whole package to unwrap, and I can't even. And that's not even going over the rest of the group, who are also their own packages to unwrap. Like, when I tell you this group is insane, when my friends decided to make the most difficult characters to unify, they went above and beyond to go like, hey, we're gonna give you this wacky group, and you're gonna not know what to do with any of them. And I took that challenge and I said, fuck it, why not? But yeah, that's kind of mostly what I have to say about these guys. Along with the drawing process, it was really fun. Again, broke some boundaries that I didn't think I was gonna touch before, and I'm honestly kind of proud of it. Hopefully one of these days when I renew the poster for the kind of crossover between my friends and my campaign, because I plan on making a new one eventually in the future. Hopefully I'll be able to talk about these characters more. Hopefully I'll get some of my friends on so that way they can talk about their characters and about the campaigns. But for now, thank you for watching. We'll see what I can bring up and talk about next video. Next video, I think, will be my favorite idea that I've had for these drawings, but for now, I will see you guys next week. Thank you so much for listening to my ramblings, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye!